It's a busy schedule for a teenager.
Yeah, but I mean, I had friends at school that all loved that I could do flips and wanted to be like me, so it was worth it because they all.
You were an example to them.
Yeah, I mean, people wanted to be able to do the things that I could do.
So you mentioned expectations from your mother. Did you ever feel that these expectations were kind of a pressure to you? Did you ever feel pressure in your?
I didn't. I don't really think I did, at least. I mean, I know that my parents just wanted me to do well, and they wanted me to be happy, and I think that's how it turned out for the most part. I mean, they made sure to tell me that they loved me and that I was the best and that I was special. Yes. They still tell me I'm the best, that I'm special.
Okay. Now, after you finished high school, I remember that you told me you attended Georgetown University, which is one of the best schools in the country.
I couldn't have gotten into Georgetown if I didn't work hard and didn't have my mom and dad pushing me. But because they helped push me and I worked hard, I was able to get into an awesome school, and people were able to look up to me even more. I know people, I'm sure, wanted to be like me, from a high school, middle school. Because on Facebook, everybody sees where you are, what you're doing.
Do you still use social networking a lot? Do you have connection? Do you have connection with people that you with people from your high school, or no?
Yes. I mean, I do. I have Facebook, and I'm friends with people from my high school and college, but I only post on there if I'm doing something that I think is really cool, or that would make people remember that they want to be like me, or remember how great I am. I mean, for their own sake too, because then they'll get to remember the good memories that they had with me.
I was going to ask you about competition. When you were a gymnast, did you ever feel that? How did you feel about competition from other people, from other girls in your age? Because I know that everyone wants to be the best, and you felt that you were the best all the time.
I mean, I kind of knew I was the best too. I mean, I won almost all the competitions that we went to, and we used to go out of state. So I mean, I was good, and I knew that. Okay. So I don't feel like I had much competition, at least with the girls I practiced with. I feel like we were all pretty much in the same.
And I'm sure that you lost a game or something out of a competition, right?
There were a couple that I didn't win.
Okay, so in these couple of games, how did you feel about that? What did that push you to become better?
I would get a little upset because I was used to always winning and the people always wanting to be like me. But if I'm not at the top and if I'm not winning, then who's going to want to be like me? Mm-hmm. So I was always a little upset. My parents were usually really upset with me too, because they said that they pay a lot of money, they push me really hard, so I shouldn't be just average. I should be above average because I am a special person, and I am the kind of person that other people want to be.
Okay. Now, in your college years at Georgetown, do you remember having any difficulties in your trip?
I'm really tired today.
You are?
Yeah. I haven't been sleeping very well.
Okay.
We can talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, even now if you want.
We can finish this and then we'll talk about that.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you about college, if you had any difficulty in your transition from high school, because you left home and you were by yourself, right?
Mhm.
So, nothing particular?
I don't really, no, not particularly, because I had that blog that I told you about last
Yes.
time. And so I think that helps me because, like, once, you know, like, you started classes and I started to make friends, and then people realized, like, oh, I was the girl with the really great blog that everybody talks about and everybody reads on campus and, like, in the DC area. It was, like, easier, like, to make friends because people wanted to hang out with me and, like, wanted to, like, make an appearance on my blog and pictures of, like, going out to eat and stuff. I usually just put, like, girls, though I never put guys' faces if I was going on a date because if a lot of guys asked me out, so I didn't want to, like, hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah, you mentioned that before. So, let's go to your situation right now, okay? I want to concentrate more on your relationship with your husband because I think it's vital. Can you tell me how do you spend your time at home after work, after your busy schedule?
Well, I've recently, in like the past month or so, just because I've been really upset about not like getting invited to go out with people from work, and you know, I haven't really been like on great terms with my husband, so I haven't, like, I've been going to work even like really early, and then I come home really late, because if I don't get invited out, then like there's no point in leaving work on time, and I'm not doing anything fun with my husband. I mean, he started like going out to like his friends' houses for like pizza and beers. You know, I'm just like, I'm left at home. So I've been watching a lot of Netflix. In like the past, I think 3 days, I've watched almost all of the Nashville episodes on there. So in a couple of days, I'll probably start a new series on Netflix. You know, I'm like, I haven't really been sleeping well lately because, like, I don't, you know, when, like, I get into bed with my husband, there's just, like, an awkward vibe that I just, like, I don't feel like he, like, loves me as much as he did. Like, he doesn't look at me and just, like, you know, like, want to snuggle and, like, be with me. It's just, like, awkward.
So you don't have any, that's a personal question, do you have any sexual life? How is your sexual life lately?
Non-existent recently.
Non-existent?
It's just me and Netflix.
Okay.
Which I don't understand because I don't know why you wouldn't want to, like, do a little something with me.
I understand. So let me.
I mean, I was a gymnast too, so I mean.
I know.
My husband doesn't realize what he's missing out on.
I understand. I'm gonna take you back to the beginning of your relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how it started off? Like, what is different now? What was different back then compared to now?
I think.
You mentioned a different vibe, like different atmosphere.
Yeah, I think just because like when we met, you know, I was towards like the end of my like education at Georgetown, so I think I was like at this point like a really like good high almost. You know, like I had a really successful blog, I had like a really good internship, I had, you know, like a good job lined up. I just like I had a lot going for me. Do you mind if I drink some water?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
It's okay, no.
Yeah, no, so I think I had like a lot going for me at that point in time, just in terms of like success, and I think at that time more specifically I was even greater than I am now. Okay. You know, because I did have the blog, I, you know, was like really physically fit and in shape, I was, you know, happy, I had a ton of like girls that, you know, were always wanting to hang out with me, always wanting to be with me. I got to go on like fun dates and like little adventures through DC, you know, just for like fun and for my blog. So I think like at that point when like we met and like dated and like got married, it was just like a good point because like I like people really wanted to like be with me or be like me. all the time.
But what made Walter be the special guy for you? What did you find in him? Was he successful? Like
he was kind of just like the full package. I mean, I already know I'm great, so I knew that like I was never worried about not finding anyone.
Okay.
But he did things like extra special for me. I'm from the South originally, so he held the door for me. He knows how to make sweet tea, which any guy that can make sweet tea is a keeper.
I like it so.
He, I don't know, I guess he like reminded me a lot of just like growing up. Like he had a lot of the same things that I did. You know, he knows how to shoot a gun properly. I don't think any northern boys know how to do that.
That's interesting.
So we had a lot of fun. You know, he always like was getting things for me. This ring was actually like one of the first gifts he got for me. Just like it started out as a friendship ring, and then we like started dating. So it turned into a dating ring.
That works.
So he was like, I guess, kind of different than some of the rest of the guys. That he just, like, all the guys wanted to be with me and like do things with me and hang out with me, but he like actually wanted to like get to know me and not just like follow me around in a sense, and like not just hang out with me to get like a picture of their like chest and their plate of food on my blog. Like it, you know, he actually wanted to like be with me and like form a relationship and get to know me.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you if you have any fights or like intense arguments, or
we
is
don't
it
really
just
fight or have arguments. There's just like a lack of communication almost. Like it's just the only way I can describe it is like being at home with him is awkward.
That might be worse than having an argument.
Yeah, I think that's worse than having a fight. It's just awkward. Like we talk and stuff. It's kind of like forced. It's like, how was your day? How are you?
Yeah, that's a very
What'd you do today?
mechanic.
Well, we both went to work. Like master the obvious. What'd you do? I wrote.
Okay.
Like, it's stupid questions like that. Like he knows what I do. I've been doing the same thing pretty much since we've met. It's not gonna change.
Okay.
I don't have a dog that I like walk randomly like. So it's like we both pretty much have our own like same separate routines, and it's just like the only thing we discuss or like talk about or do are like the basic cordial questions.
And what are your thoughts on this? Like, do you have the desire to make the first step, like to talk with him about it, or you just feel that it's his job to do it?
Well, I mean, I kind of thought it was his job to do it because he is the man in the relationship, so he should see that something is wrong and that I'm upset and try to fix it, but he didn't, so that's why I came here, one of the reasons why I came here. So, I mean, I think at this point maybe I need to do something to try to change the situation in the relationship.
Okay. Have you ever set his feelings or emotions as your priority instead of your feelings? Like, did you ever feel like more generous to him? Or
I mean, I can give you the answer I'm supposed to give and say, of course.
But
I don't think.
I want you to be honest. That's why you're here. Not even once?
I mean,
Try to remember,
I'm like
in the your beginning of the relationship.
I'm sure at the beginning I would like kind of like put away the little like, you know, massage that I had up about, you know, making sure I was like in on a stick. Well, I mean I am, but like making sure I always looked that way.
Yes.
So I'm sure I like put his feelings before mine at some point. I can't think of any specific examples.
No, it's okay. You don't have to find an example. I just wanted to know if you ever felt this way. So you did.
Maybe a couple times.
But not now. You don't feel that way.
Maybe a little bit now, But not usually.